Hi guys, this is Eve from Ovaniz and today we're going to teach you how to make a Santa Claus fondant figure. Merry Christmas! We will start this tutorial by sculpting the head and we will need about 60 grams of skin colored fondant. Roll the fondant in between your hands into an oval shape, tuck all the creases behind the ball and smooth the surface as much as you can. Now before we get started, I would like to point out that there are two kinds of fondant figures that we can make. The one on the left is a cartoon-like simple fondant figure, which we're going to make today, and the one on the right is a realistic fondant figure that was sculpted by the photo to fondant tutorial, which means that you can sculpt the fondant figure copied from a picture. And we will talk about this option at the end of this tutorial. And now let's get started. Now that we have a smooth oval shape for the head, we will take the Dresden tool and make two indentations for the eye sockets, approximately in the middle of the head. Take a small piece of ivory colored fondant, roll it in between your hands into a teardrop shape, and attach it in between the eye sockets. And now using the Dresden tool, attach it gently to the head. Using your fingertips and the Dresden tool, give it a shape of the nose, press it down at the bridge, and using the veining tool, pull out two nostrils. Just insert the veining tool into the nose and pull it aside. So Santa has quite a big nose, so don't skimp on the fondant and make it a little bit larger than usual. Now for the mouth, we're going to cut a slit. And using the veining tool, we'll open it up a little bit, shaping the lower lip. A little bit upper lip, and the rest we're going to paint with food coloring. For the eyes, using the veining tool, make two indentations just by pushing the fondant in. And now we are ready to fill the indentations with the white fondant. So take two small pieces of white fondant and insert them into the eye sockets we just made. Don't make the indentations too deep, they're supposed to be 2 to 3 millimeters deep. And using the Dresden tool, we're inserting the white fondant inside. Next, we're going to make the eyebrows. Take two small pieces of white fondant and using some water and rounded knife, attach them above the eye. Now, by using the rounded knife, we're making two things at once. The first one, we're attaching the eyebrow and we're creating a hair pattern. Next we will draw the eyes, so using number 0 brush and some food coloring, we're going to draw the iris of the eye. I'm using brown food coloring, and for the pupil we're going to use black food coloring. Draw a thin outline using brown food coloring as well. Paint the lips using the burgundy food coloring. Next we will make the mustache and the beard, and again take a small piece of white fondant and using some water and the rounded knife attach the fondant to the mouth area. Make small tapping motions, and by that you will create a pattern that looks like hair. For the beard, take a small piece of white fondant, shape it into a triangle and attach it to the bottom of the face. As you can see, I'm gently tapping on the fondant, and by that it's attaching itself to the face, and I'm creating a hair pattern as well. I want the mustache to stand out a little bit, so I'm taking 2 small pieces of white fondant, rolling it in between my fingers into small sausages and attaching them above the lips, making them point up. Next we will make the Santa hat, of course, so take a small piece of red fondant, shape it into a cone shape, make a small indentations on the bottom, attach it on the top of the head, bend the tip, make a small ball out of white fondant for the tip of the head, just like so, and attach it using some water. To make the furry part of the head, take a white fondant, roll it into a long sausage in between your hands, wrap it around the head, and to make the fur effect, we're using small scissors and just cutting tiny cuts onto the fondant, and as you can see, it makes it look like fur. And we are done, and we are ready to move to the next part, which is making the Santa body. So to make the Santa suit, we're going to use red fondant, no surprises here. For the legs, we're using 140 grams of fondant, for the arms 60 grams, and for the body we're using 170 grams of fondant. For the boots and the belt we will need black fondant, and for the furry part we will need white fondant. So we're starting with the legs. Roll the fondant in between your hands into a long rope shape, approximately 20 centimeters long. Make it quite thick because Santa is chubby. Fold it in half and put it on some sort of the base. I'm using styrofoam, you can use whatever you have at home. Insert a skewer or a lollipop stick for support, and now let's make the body. So roll the fondant in between your hands into a pear shape. Again, Santa is chubby character, so we're making it as round as we can. So this is the shape we're looking for, and insert it onto the skewer. Next, for the arms, roll the red fondant in between your hands into a long rope shape, approximately 15 centimeters long. Cut it in half and attach it to the body. My fondant is quite sticky, it sticks by itself, but if you need help you can use some water to help you glue the arms to the body. For the boots, take 2 small pieces of the black fondant, roll it into an oval shape and fold it in half. This is it. Very easy. Attach it to the bottom of the leg. Again, use some water to help you glue it to the leg. Repeat with the second one. For the belt, roll a very thin piece of black fondant and cut out a belt out of it, approximately 15 centimeters long. Don't worry if it's too long, you can cut the excess later. But before putting the belt, we're going to make the fur. Take a piece of white fondant, roll it in between your hands into a long rope. And now wrap it around the body. Same as we did with the hat, I'm using small scissors and making small cuts into the white part to make it look like fur. Next, we will wrap the legs and the arms in the same way. Take the belt we made earlier and wrap it around Santa's belly. cut out two small rectangles in the width of the belt, one slightly larger than the other. Cover the bigger rectangle with gold luster dust and glue the smaller black rectangle on top of it. In a small amount of water, glue it to the belt. For the mittens, roll two small pieces of red fondant into an oval shape and just make a small cut for the thumb and attach it to the arms. And now you can add the white part, the fur, around the arms. This is it, we are done, and all what's left to do is to attach our Santa head on top of the skewer. I couldn't leave Santa without a Christmas tree, so I made a small Christmas tree out of fondant. So this is our final result, the final Santa Claus fondant figure. And as I mentioned earlier, there are two options how you can sculpt the Santa figure. The first one is what we made here, and it is the simple version. And the second version, it is our premium tutorial at ovaniz.com, the photo to fondant face sculpting tutorial, in which we teach you step by step how to sculpt a realistic figure copied from a picture. So just imagine your loved one surprised when he sees a character of himself on his celebration cake. You can surprise your friends, you can surprise your brother, you can make your child, you can make your husband, you can make a celebrity, you can even make your child as his favorite superhero character. The possibilities are endless, and this is truly an amazing product. So thank you for watching, and we see you in the next videos. Stay sweet!